G'day everyone, welcome to part 3 of this saga of doing the rear diff and cradle and bushes and bearings and all that crap. I'll show you what I'm up to now, and in this episode we'll be removing the rear swing arms and the diff cradle. So I'll just spin you around, and this I've treated a bit. So I removed the shocks, right? Now, very stupidly, I let these swing arms down, took the jack out from under them, and you can see there I've actually removed the hose that goes from there to there, because the hose took the full weight, which was a really dumb thing for me to do. So I'll show you what my original plan was. So if you look here, I bought these clamps from Super Cheap, and I clamped off the hoses because I was going to, you know, try and minimise the amount of bleeding I had to do on these. But unfortunately, I did that, and I don't trust these now because there's a bit of weight in these swing arms, especially with the disc and that still on. And so I've got some other ones, so I'm going to replace them. What else have I done? I did something else. I just got to remember what it was. No, and of course the springs are out. So now the handbrake cable's got to come off. So I've actually unhooked this one, I think. It's this one I unhooked. It might be the other side. No, this one's still hooked up. So the handbrake cables are all got to come out. And because it's pulling up here, and they're bent, and they're like coming apart, they're not in very good nick. So I've got some other handbrake cables too. So that's what we'll be doing, and I think the first step, I'm going to remove the calipers, undo the brake line there, because the whole brake line's got to come off anyway. But we'll undo the calipers, remove the disc. That's about all I really need, because I've got all those other bits from the wrecker, so it's all ready to go back in. And remove the handbrake cable, or disconnect it from the swing arm anyway for now. I think I'll remove it later, and then we're going to get into these bolts here. And there's one on the inside there, which I can't really, you know where it is anyway, but there it is up there. Anyway, and of course you know that if you try and remove that, you knock it out, you won't get it all the way out. Because you really don't need to remove the diff cradle if you don't want to, but these bolts, now this is my theory, and I know that it'll work. If you don't want to remove the diff cradle, you can get them out, because I've seen blokes, I'll show you, I've seen blokes bend them, especially down the wrecker. They bend and cut and do all sorts of shit. Okay, let me see. This plate, if you do one side at a time, you can undo this plate. So you've got to undo the main bolt and these three. You'll see 1, 2, 3. And this cradle should drop down on one side, and it should drop down enough for you to get that out. But I'm going to test that out anyway. But the swing arms will be out, but I'm just going to see. It should drop down, and you should be able to get that bolt out and then just put it in the other way, you know, so you never have that problem again. The only reason they're this way, you know, I've heard people say, oh, why did they put it in that way? Because they're assembled outside of the car, and they put the whole cradle with the diff and everything and the rear suspension already assembled, so on the assembly line. So that's why. Anyway, I'll stop yammering now and we'll get into it. Okay, this has got to be undone. I'm going to undo this line. I'm going to do the two 19mm bolts at the back and just get the caliper off. And I've put the jack under the swing arm, and then I'm going to disconnect this handbrake, just get it free of the swing arm. That's all I want. So I'll set you up on time lapse, because that'll sometimes they take a while. So I'll just set you up on time lapse for now and we'll see how we go. I'll just pause filming there. I've got a little trick to get these open, but do you think I can find my claw hammer? You use a claw hammer and use the claw part on the back and you hook it into there and you can pry this open a bit, because you've got to actually pry that open a bit to get this out. So what I'll do, this is probably going to turn into a bit of a disaster, but I'll see if I can do it with these pliers. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, so next step is just to undo the bush bolts, and the swing arm should come out. But I'll get set up for that and we'll come back. Okay, so this is where I'm up to. I've removed one of the bolts. This is the main center one. You can see the blue Loctite on it. You need a breaker bar. I think I used an old, this is an old tension wrench. The ratchet's stuffed and it's locked up, so it's actually pretty good for getting stubborn bolts out. I'm just having a look, just bear with me. So it is, hang on Ari, 18 mil, 18 millimeter. So this is what I've got to do because it's up over the exhaust. Yeah, that's my granddaughter Aria. It's up over the exhaust, so I've got to drop this mount down to undo that bolt. So I'll do that in a minute. Okay, I just want to talk about this bolt for a minute. Like I said, you need a breaker bar. But if all you have, this is only a theory, and I'm going to try it on the other side and I'll film it. If you've only got your ratchet, if you can put a bit of heat on it, either with I've got a propane torch, and you just put a bit of heat into this bolt, it frees up the Loctite, and you may get it out just with your ratchet. Or put a bit of heat on it, rattle gun. If you've got a big rattle gun, you'll get it out without doing anything, but not with this little thing. But anyway, she's pretty good for what it is. It's not a bad old thing. But anyway, for now, I've got to get these 3 bolts out on this side. So this, and I've got the jack up under it, as you can see. And I want to drop it down so I can get this bolt out, because I need to remove this swing arm so I can pull the whole cradle out from over the top of the exhaust. Okay, I'm just going to remove these 3 bolts. The jack should take the weight of it, so, and then we'll let it down and see if I'm successful or not. It might help if I put the right socket on. Hopefully I can get it on here. No. Only just. Really should have put an extension on there, but we'll get this last one. Okay, as you can hear, plate's off. So I'll probably paint this. I painted everything else that's not moving, I painted. What I'm going to do now is let the jack down. I'll just move you around a bit and hopefully it'll move this down enough so I can undo the bolt. If not, it'll be a failure. No, I'm busy.
Yeah, I stopped the pop. Yeah.
Alright, so that's a bit of a failure. I'm going to have to loosen the other side off to give it some play so I can drop it down. So we'll come back to this. I'm going to go around the other side and I'll try the heat method just to see if you can just use a ratchet to undo it. I just want to try it and see if it works. I don't know why, but it's mainly for you blokes at home. If you've only got one of these, I want to see if it can be done. Alright, trying to get you set up so you can see, so hang on. Trying to get lights set up and everything. I think there's the bolt, so I'm going to put a bit of heat on it. Now, like I said, I don't really need to do this. It's just an experiment to see if it can be done. Right, I can smell rubber, so that's enough. And you would only do this if you're going to replace your bushes. So let me try. It may not work. Yep, you can do it, because I tried this earlier and I couldn't move it. And now I can. So you can do it. So if you've only got a ratchet and you've got some way to heat it, you're alright with a ratchet. Very good. I know I could use the rattle gun to get it out, but I've already started it now, so. Like I said, don't use the heat if you're not replacing your bushes. Very hot. Beautiful. So there you go, you can use your ordinary ratchet. Okay. Now, I'm going to loosen the plate. I'll see if it gives me any leeway on the other side, and once again I forgot the extension. I think I'm going to have to get it. No. Okay, so I just saw it move and it's nearly sitting on the jack on the other side, so No. I'm going to leave that. So as you can see, it's actually moving now. So I reckon I should be able to do something on the other side now. So we'll go back around, see what disasters I can manage. I think I need to pull it down by hand. Anyway, we'll go back around. Okay, I've had a bit of success, as you can see. That's what I need to get out. I just pulled it backwards because I've got the jack under it here. If you, I'll show you. You can sort of, there you go. So that's now I've blocked the other side, eh? I'm going to let the jack down a bit, and I'm just going to manoeuvre it round to undo these, undo the inside. And I need to get this, especially this one. I'll try for both, but I really just need to get this one out of the way. But I will try for both because I don't want the wishbones are pretty heavy, or the swing arms. It's still got the axles in and everything, so just going to undo the 2 bolts. I don't think there's any point in filming that. And look, I might. Time's a bit hard at the moment because, as you heard, my granddaughter's here. She wants me to go and play with her and stop doing this, so I shall attempt. I've already loosened these. I cheated a bit. I've loosened the inside one on this one, just on this swing arm. So I think I'm just going to let that down a bit, and we might try and undo them. Alright, this is the only remaining bolt. I've got the inside one out, as you can see. I hope you can see. No, it's pretty dark, so I just got to get this one out. And then I will attempt to lift the swing arm out, but I won't film the other side. I've got to take the other one out. So like I said, I've already loosened this. But I think my theory about just loosening one side and dropping it down does not work. You'd have to leave like your rear diff mount on and undo those 2 front ones to get these bolts out if you weren't going to take the cradle out. I think that's the only way to go, but I can't test every theory out, so okay. Alright, this thing should wriggle out, and that's it. One swing arm out. All I gotta do now is do the other side, and then I'll just drag the cradle out. So that's about it. So we'll come back when I get the cradle out and I'll show you. Make sure it's the same as the one I'm putting in. There's the bushes. I'll just go and undo that other side, and I'll come back because then everything will be undone, and I'll just got to drag the cradle out. You can see what I mean with the exhaust in the way. There's no way you can't get it out with the with this swing arm still in here. You'd have to take the exhaust out if you want to do that. So when I put the new one in, I was going to bolt the diff. I think I still will. I was going to bolt the diff on out Okay, cradle's out. Those of you with keen eyes would have noticed that old dopey here had, the reason I couldn't pull that side down to get the swing arm bolt out is because I left the exhaust hooked up. First step I should have done. Forgot all about it, eh? Couldn't work out why I couldn't move it. The exhaust was still hooked onto there. So, very stupid, but live and learn. So, my next step now is to unbolt the donut from the front, speed sensors and the rear bush, and put them on my other diff over there, which is, I'll show you, sitting under here, but I'll get it out. It's over there. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here because it's already too long, so please like, share and subscribe. Just a quick look, there's the old ute with nothing in it. So now I'm going to set up the new cradle, which is here. I'm going to bolt the diff to it and try and get it bolted in. That'll be in the next video. Okay, see you later.